Let's get sweaty.
Hey guys, welcome to a Shenmue Dojo video. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about the new footage from the Virtua Fighter project. I want to talk a little bit about how it looks, the fighting, some links to Shenmue, and some thoughts about RGG picking up a future Shenmue title, Shenmue 4 or whatever, because it's been very, very hot in the community fairly recently. Now, first and foremost, let's look at the footage itself. Now, the footage itself looks absolutely stunning. It came out from CES yesterday as part of the NVIDIA presentation, which is insane. I know NVIDIA have been linked to Virtua Fighter over the years for a long time, which is brilliant. The setting itself looks like a rundown Niaowi. I could imagine Ryo walking through that, potentially a future Shenmue title. It really lends itself into that sort of vibe, and I know Yu Suzuki talked about that himself when talking about what the new Virtua Fighter looked like. The fighting is stunning. It's absolutely stunning. Now, this isn't from within what would be a finished game. It is a proof of concept, essentially. But this thing looks amazing. The fighting, the fluidity, the fact that they are blocking moves left, right, and centre, it all marries up really, really nicely. Now, if this was in the final game, I would say in terms of animations, best fighting game ever. We obviously don't know what the gameplay is. We don't know how that's going to marry up. We don't know what the world is. We don't know what modes are going to be in there. But either way, this thing, the new Virtua Fighter, looks fantastic. Now, in my opinion, this isn't going to be out this year. I think it'd be well beyond 2025. But hey, funnier things have happened, and I'd expect we see more of this thing as we go through the year, sort of around your Gamescom, maybe even earlier than like Summer Games Fest, and potentially later in the year for the Game Awards as well, which obviously it was revealed there last year. Now, there are some Shenmue links to this thing. Now, you're probably looking at me going, what Shenmue links are there to this? Where have you got this from, and what are you talking about? Well, very, very simply, there's some small little tidbits here. Now, as I said, the environments look very Shenmue, but I'm going to put up a tweet here from Akira Hazuki, who popped this over on Twitter, I think it was today or yesterday. And if you look at the image here of Akira, which I'm going to bring up in large, you can see he's got a tiger on his back there. Now, you have to excuse the low-res image here, but there is a tiger on Ryo's back just here as well. So just popping that back across, you can see there is a tiger there. So there's an intrinsic link to Shenmue, which is absolutely fantastic. I hope that does transpire in some way. But that is an interesting link to Shenmue. We all know that Shenmue derived from Virtua Fighter RPG, so it sounds like, or looks like, they've maybe gone back to some of that source material and gone, okay, let's take some inspiration from that, and let's see how this thing sort of marries up as we move this thing forward, which is great. And I love that lore side of things. And then sort of the next thing I want to touch on is the whole thing of RGG picking up this Shenmue franchise and moving forward with the Shenmue 4 or future games. Now, I would be absolutely up for that. I think with Yu Suzuki sort of heading things up in terms of the story, almost like an executive producer role, maybe doing a little bit of hands-on stuff, I really do think, looking at what RGG are putting out, they could really do that. And they've talked about in interviews recently, they want to break the mold from the Like a Dragon titles and push the boundaries a little bit, which makes absolute sense because you've got to keep things fresh. Because if you don't keep things fresh, that's when people drop away. But let's be honest here, and this is just my opinion on the subject altogether. I'm not entirely sure that's likely to happen, certainly any time soon. Now, there is one reason for that, which I'm going to bring up on the screen for you to see. Now, I was cheeky enough to tweet out Richaro Yamada, who is a project developer on the Virtua Fighter project. He's a producer, game designer, and he's very, very much active on this project. And I just said, this looks stunning. Is the plan for the engine to be used in future titles and maybe into other IP? And he just came back saying we need to focus on making a new Virtua Fighter, which makes a lot of sense to me. But that suggests for me, for one thing, that they are not likely to have this game out anytime soon, as I said. And B, moving it over to other titles seems like it's not in their thinking at this moment in time. Now, Project Sentry has been mulled that it might use it, but I don't think we have confirmation of that. I could be wrong, of course. But then in terms of Shenmue 4, that would suggest to me at this point in time, if Shenmue 4 was in development, it wouldn't use that engine, because unless it's being developed at RGG and almost done sort of concurrently, that ain't going to happen. It just isn't going to happen. But that's like almost like a mythical brilliant idea that could happen. But let's be honest about this. I just don't think at this point in time it's likely. Now, Sega themselves didn't celebrate the 25th anniversary of Shenmue. Now, the Western accounts might well go ahead and do something for the Western releases, and that'd be great. But sort of balancing this out, and I can see the clamour around it of how good this Virtua Fighter project looks and how good the fighting engine looks, and having that in Shenmue 4, a Shenmue reboot, whatever you want to do, would be absolutely amazing. But at this point in time, I just don't think it will happen. Not for a long time, if at all. That doesn't mean we stop tweeting Sega. It doesn't mean we stop tweeting RGG. Absolutely. Harass them. Let them know what's going on. Because at the end of the day, it could happen. And I would love to be proved wrong on this point. But I don't think as a community we need to be honing in and talking so much about RGG taking this on as a big thing. Because I just don't think that's exactly where it's going to go at this point in time. We need to be keeping Shenmue's name out there and the push for Shenmue 4 out there. Target Sega, target RGG, but for me, I just don't think they're going to pick this thing up. My personal opinion, and I'd love to be proved horrendously wrong, and I will happily like to be proved wrong, but we'll just see where we end up. But anyway, to summarise, I think the new Virtua Fighter project looks insane. I'd love the final product to come anywhere close to that concept footage we got. I think it looks absolutely stunning, and I can't wait to see more of it. Where do you think Shenmue could fit into something like this? Do you think they're borrowing bits of Shenmue and the lore from Virtua Fighter RPG, for example? Who knows? But what do you guys think about it? What do you think about the tiger on the back of Akira's gi, for example? Is there more to this than meets the eye? And could Ryo Hazuki potentially, I don't know why they wouldn't do this, be insane, but could he make the appearance in a Virtua Fighter game as a DLC or customization options for Akira potentially as well? Let me know in the comments below, guys, and I'll pick some of those up. As I say at the end of every video, thank you for dropping on the content. For those members, if you want to join, £2 a month, get all videos ahead of time. Otherwise, it's on the scheduling system. Everything goes towards the site running costs, and I will be back with a video in the not too distant future. For now, guys, take care. Have a good one.